Hello and welcome back to PendleTV, brought to you by Pendle Lease. Today we're continuing our in-depth car view series, and today we're taking a look at BMW's answer to the hybrid market, the stunning BMW 530e M Sport Saloon. But just before we get into that, I just want to say a huge thank you to Gov and our friends at Sytner High Wycombe for lending us this fully loaded BMW 530e on the Sytner High Wycombe customer experience vehicle. Under the bonnet, this car is a 2-litre petrol, but come round to the passenger side and you'll find the electric charger port. It even has a little light for nighttime charging. Plug this into one of the over 6,000 charger ports found across the UK, and you can get up to 29 miles of fully electric range. Coming around to the back of the 530e, unless you're paying close attention to the E badge, you really wouldn't know this car was a hybrid. BMW have done a fantastic job at styling the two rear tailpipes to give it a really sporty look. And like I say, unless you're paying attention to the E badge, nothing on the outside of this car really screams hybrid. The only other mention of this car being a hybrid is the eDrive badge on either side. Whilst we're at the back, we may as well take a quick look in the boot. So there is plenty of space in the back of the 530e, and the floor can lower if you need to put in deeper objects such as a suitcase. Now it does come with a standard charger, complete with a UK mains plug. Either side of the boot you'll find plenty of cosy little storage compartments, as well as a first aid kit tucked out of sight. Now, as I mentioned earlier on, there are quite a few options on this car. One of them is the power assist closing boot lid. Additionally, this car has been complete with the M Sport Plus pack, so that gives you the 20-inch bi-colour alloy wheels, sun protection glass, the M Sport rear spoiler, and on the interior it adds Harman Kardon sound. But just before we jump in the car, another option that this car has is the comfort package. Now that gives you the exterior folding mirrors, a reversing camera, but a feature that I really like is the comfort access. You keep your key in the pocket and simply open the door. It knows that the key's there and unlocks it. Additionally, on the comfort pack it comes with electric front seats and driver memory. Another feature that's actually standard on all 5 series is when you start the vehicle by putting your foot on the brake and pressing the start button, the steering column will adjust to where you left it. Believe it or not, this car is actually started and the engine is running, but where it initially starts up in sort of hybrid mode, there is no engine sound. Another option that can be added to the BMW 5 Series, and that this particular model has, is wireless charging. So inside the BMW, you really know you're in luxury. Now the centre console for this 5 Series is in line with the rest of the car in terms of luxury. The gloss black piano trim give it a really nice and professional clean look to it. The screen is standard, this isn't an additional option, all screens come at this size. It can be adjusted by the dial at the bottom, but it is also touchscreen. Here's where you'll find your digital radio, your nav and other customisable vehicle options. So there are a couple of different drive modes on the 5 Series. You've got your standard ones that you'll get in any BMW, such as Sport, Comfort and Eco Pro, all giving slightly different driving experience or stiffening in the suspension, etc. But one additional one that this 5 Series has, due to it being the 530e, is the eDrive button. Now this has 3 different modes. First of all, you'll have Auto eDrive, and each one is displayed on the screen. Auto eDrive is where the car will decide what mode is best between electric and petrol. It will choose, judging by its road, the power, your style of driving, and it will take a little bit of both. The next is Max eDrive. Now, what this does is it limits the car to 80 miles an hour, limits the power output to 60%, but will use as much electricity output as possible and minimal petrol. And finally, you've got battery control. Now, on the battery control, you can set a target value, and this is where the vehicle actually charges itself. The range is from 30 to 100%. By default, it's always recommended to have 100%. And what this will do, it will use no electric output whatsoever, but the car will charge itself. It will charge itself through braking and when you coast. Now, being honest, before driving the 530e, I wasn't a massive hybrid fan. I was a little bit sceptical about the driving style, the power, and the sort. I've been a bit of a petrol head, but this car has absolutely blown me away. I've never been so impressed by it. The feel of a car, the comfort of a car, and the whole performance in general. It has over 240 brake horsepower coming from the petrol and hybrid engine, and I've had so much fun driving this in electric mode. that I have to take my hat off and eat it. I take back everything I've ever said in the past about electric and hybrid cars, and I can really see how this is the way forward. So currently this 530e has between 26 and 29 miles of electric range, which is perfect for those short journeys or if you're working in inner cities. It's not very beneficial if you're doing long motorway journeys. You're not going to get too far, and that range does vary depending on your driving style. So if you're a little bit heavy on the accelerator, then you're not going to get that full 29 miles of electric range. However, like I said, if you put it into the battery control mode, the car will charge itself. So when you're driving on motorways at 70 miles an hour and you start coasting or braking, the car will charge itself, which is fantastic for when you've finished those motorway journeys, you're back in the rural areas, you can put it back into maximum e-drive mode and it will start using those miles that you've built up. Now, one of the things I really love about the BMW 5 Series is its road presence. A car with such a large car with flared arches and a powerful looking grille, it's just a real eye catcher. And as a 4-door saloon, it really is the pinnacle. It's just got plenty of space in the back, plenty of boot space, plenty of comfort and luxury up front. I really don't know what else you would want in a car. Now remember that all the cars PendleTV review can be found on the Pendle Lease website, all with our latest business and personal leasing offers. Using the deal search function allows you to easily search all makes and models available on the leasing market. Simply adjust your search by setting the number of years, monthly budget and initial payment to suit your requirement. So that concludes our next review of the BMW 530e. Thank you again to our friend Gov and our friends at Sytner High Wycombe for lending us this car. Make sure you click the subscribe button, comment below and like this video. See you next time.